camera, count 1001 and start.
Hi, I'm Aly, actor trainer at Rise Haunted House. I wanted to personally thank you for your time and consideration in signing up to be a part of our cast and crew for the 2019 season. So, the next step, auditions. So working at a haunted house isn't like an everyday thing. We don't expect everyone to have years of haunt experience. We actually don't even expect people to have a lot of theater experience. We just want people that want to come out, have a great time, and want to give us stuff to work with. Some of the things we look for in potential actors are people who are just willing to give anything a shot. We can work with something, but we can't work with nothing. If you're willing to try and participate in the games and we see that you're having a good time, then that means that you'll probably be willing to say a line or two or do this movement when we actually bring you into the haunt and try you in your scene. So auditions may seem scary, but our auditions aren't like that. You're gonna come, fill out some paperwork, chit chat with the other auditionees, and then we're gonna play some games. We have improv games, which rely heavily on being able to work on your toes and do stuff on the fly. But then we also have more movement icebreaker games that are just gonna break you out your shell and get ready for your actual individual audition. After we play the games, you're gonna go into the audition room where we're gonna ask you a series of things, we're gonna give you a line, try you out with something, and then if that's not really working, we're gonna try something else. And this is where you're also going to perform your monologue if you have one. We don't expect you to have loads and loads of theater experience or haunt experience. We just expect you to try and just be willing to do whatever we ask.
What if they do have theater experience?
If you do have theater experience, that is great. That means we can build off of the theater experience you have and kind of mold you into the haunt actor that we want you to be. Okay, we have 3 different attractions at Rise Haunted House. We have the Rise Well Mental Asylum and Research Facility, which is more of our 4D dark theater attraction. Very high dialogue, very improv heavy characters go here. Basically the whole premise is you're locked in a room with someone for 2 minutes and 30 seconds and a scene is going to evolve and our characters will interact back with you if you speak to them. So if you want to be in the asylum, I highly suggest bringing a monologue. Our second attraction is our newer attraction. It is the Hayride. The types of roles in our haunted hayride consist of scripted speaking roles where you're not actually doing the speaking, a voice recording is speaking for you. You're just doing all of the movements that go along with the speaking. And then we have a lot of scare actor roles, which means you'll probably have multiple spots. So like the beginning, the middle, and the end. But you'll be able to get all of those scares. So like jumping onto the trailer, getting in people's faces, jumping off and running to your next spot before the next trailer gets there. The Risewell Bed and Breakfast, which is the house in the cemetery. And in our main attraction, I would say it's kind of a big variety of all of the different types from the asylum and the hayride. Just put into one. So we have a lot more drop panels in the house. Those are like the biggest scares. And then we do have more dialogists and more distractions. Distractions are good setups for the scare. So if you don't think that you could be like a big scare actor or a big dialogist, we still have spots for you and we still want you because we can still utilize you. So they would, whether that's a crying girl or a girl that's lost her mom, it's pulling the distraction of the group over here so then the scare actor can drop the panel and you guys work together to get the touchdown, essentially. If you really want a speaking role, you should do a monologue, and not just any monologue. You should pick a monologue that showcases what you think your strengths are, but kind of caters to the kinds of roles that we have here at the haunted house. And if you've never been and saw the haunted house before, pick a monologue that's kind of dark and creepy or has elements like such.
If you're unsure what type of monologue, email.
If you're unsure of what type of monologue to pick, you can email myself, Aly at risehauntedhouse.com. That is ALY at RISEHAUNTED. HOUSE.
I put it underneath.
Or Allison. But if you're still unsure of what kind of monologue to choose, you can email myself at Aly at risehauntedhouse.com or Allison at risehauntedhouse.com. But let me assure you, you do not have to do a monologue. So you don't have to do a monologue to be great. It's just a great way to showcase something if you want to showcase us something.
That was good.
At the end of the audition process, you're going to be given a sheet that has all of the preseason dates on it. So this is going to be like our orientation and training, safety and zone wars, which we'll talk about later, and there could be a little section for callbacks. If you have a callback, that doesn't necessarily mean anything better than someone who doesn't have a callback. It just means that we're not entirely sure where you fit in this big puzzle of our casting. So we're giving you a callback so we can take individualized time to work with you and try you out at a couple different things to see what fits best for your style of acting and what fits best for the show. And if you do not receive a callback, we will be in contact with you within the next week or so as we're finalizing casting. You will get your final position at orientation and training. That's when you'll come in, meet your whole entire cast. We'll sit down, do the orientation process. It's not really that long, but you're gonna have to listen to us say a lot of boring stuff, but it's very important. And then after that, we're gonna eat some food, and then we're gonna go outside and we're going to do the individual training process. So you're gonna work with the whole entire training team on trying to fine-tune those skills that you need to be the best haunt actor possible for the entirety of the season. So, safety and zone wars. Safety and zone wars will be after orientation and training, but before the season starts. At this point, you'll know who your zone leader is. A zone leader is kind of the individual captain for a section in the attraction, and they keep track of 7 or 8 actors. And so that's kind of like your point of contact on the ladder of like, if I'm going to be late, or if I can't make it, or if I'm having an issue with somebody in my zone, you want to make sure that you talk to your zone leader about that. And if it's not an issue they can handle, they'll relay it to their zone captain. So at Safety and Zone Wars, you and your entire zone will pick a color and a mascot for the day, and you will essentially compete against all of the other zones in all 3 of the attractions. And I'm not gonna toot my own horn or anything, but I've won 2 years in a row, so.
Safety is also important.
Oh, that part. But before the fun part, which is when we play field day kind of games, we have to do the safety part. And if we don't do the safety part right, they make us do it over and over and over again. So you're gonna go with your zone leader and the other 6 people in your zone, and we're going to turn the fire alarm on, and we have to do the essential fire escape, and we all have to make it out in a certain amount of time, and if we don't, we have to do it again. But then after that, we get to do the Zone Wars portion.
It's kind of quirky. It had all the information, just wasn't clean, so we're going to use bits and pieces and add it all down. Okay.
Okay. Contracts. If you are a contracted actor, you will sign your contract at orientation and training, and based on your availability, you will let us know what nights you can be there and what nights you can't. If you want to be a contracted actor, you are required to be here for all 7 of our blackout nights. Blackout nights are usually the busiest nights of the season, so that is the entire weekend leading up to Halloween, and normally the Fridays and Saturdays before that. If you can't make those nights, then sorry, you're ineligible for a contract. If you are 16 and 17, that means you're ineligible for a paid contract, but feel free to come and intern for us and kind of learn the ropes. And but then when you are 18, you'll have 2 years of experience, and then you could come be a contracted actor. Thank you again so much for your time and consideration. We really, really hope that you come out to auditions, and don't be nervous. We want everyone, and we love everyone, and we're one big happy family, and nerves are normal, nerves are good. You want to have some nerves going into your audition, but trust me, when you get here and you start having fun and you start talking with us, you'll instantly feel at home and you'll never want to leave. The end.